Hi everyone, my name is Mike Levine. For those who don't know me, I'm a personal trainer and a yoga instructor here in Toronto with my company, Mindful Method. I am back for our weekly stretch, and today we're going to be focusing on some hip openers. We get really tight when you're sitting a lot, if you're a runner or you're a cyclist, so I thought it'd be a good idea to focus on those hips. So we're going to start off coming down to seated. We're going to bring feet together, so sitting up nice and tall. I've got these yoga blocks handy. If you have yoga blocks, try using them. You can come to seated, so you're sitting up a little bit higher. We'll bring both feet together, sitting up tall here, and pretend like you're opening up the feet like a book. So slowly and gently, you can press your elbows into the knees if that feels good. And we're going to slowly hinge forward with a flat back, bringing that chest down wherever you can, and we're breathing into it here. Let's try 5 deep breaths for 4, 3, nice deep breaths into that kind of groin area, opening up the pelvis for 2, and 1. Slowly ease out of that. You can bring knees in together, shake it off. We'll try that once more. So both feet come together, pretend like you're opening up a book with your feet. And your choice to press both elbows into the knees to give you a little bit more of a stretch. So opening up that groin once more, slowly hinging forward. So we're not rounding, hinging forward with a flat back, coming down wherever you can here. And let's enjoy this hip opener here for 4. Nice deep breaths for 3. Keep trying to open up those feet for 2. And 1. Slowly release. We'll bring both knees together. We'll come off our block. We're going to try a seated twist. So next you can reach, I'm going to come from the side. So right leg reaches out in front, left leg over your right, left hand to the base of the spine. We're going to sit up nice and tall here. Reach that right arm up. We're going to bring it across the body. And let's try hugging that left knee in towards the chest. So we're getting right into those glutes, wringing out the spine a little bit here, getting ready for some movement today. Breathing in for 5. Nice deep breaths, you're wringing out that spine for 4. For the last 3, sitting up nice and tall, pretend like a string's pulling you up to the ceiling for 2. And 1, slowly release that side. We'll bring right over left, right hand to the base of the spine. So sitting up nice and tall to start. Inhale, reach that left arm up. We're going to bring it right across the body here. You're twisting to the other corner of the room. So trying to reach, opening up that chest, looking back towards the right side of the room for 5. Keep hugging that knee in close. You'll feel it right into that glute for 4. 3, for 2, and 1. Slowly release. We'll come onto all fours in our tabletop position. So I always like to start on warming up that spine for some movement. So start by pressing both hands into your mat or to the floor. We'll think about engaging our upper back here. So hips aligned over those knees, shoulders over your wrists. Starting off with the flat back, we'll slowly open up the chest, looking up, letting that belly drop. Exhale to round, so starting with the head, rounding chin to chest through your upper back, looking to the belly, letting the pelvis drop here. Reversing from that low spine, so going 1 segment at a time, all the way up the back, 1 vertebra, looking all the way up. Exhale to round your chin to chest. Rounding, looking to the belly here, reversing from that low spine, mid back, upper back, and the slower you go, the better it is for your spine. So really taking your time here to round and move through that whole spine, looking to the belly into your cat position. We'll do a few more here, reversing from low back, mid back, upper back, looking up to the ceiling. Release those shoulders down. Exhale to round into your cat. Rounding chin to chest, looking to the belly. Last 2 here, each way, reversing from that low spine, mid back, upper back, looking all the way up. Exhale to round into your cat. One vertebra at a time, all the way down the spine. Last one each time. Reversing, take a deep inhale into your cow position, all the way up the spine. Keep pressing hands down into your mat. Exhale, rounding chin to chest, all the way down the spine. Good, coming into our neutral spine. Next, we're gonna work on those controlled articulated rotations on our hips. So start by pressing both hands into your mat firmly. You're in a flat back position. And we're gonna bend into that left knee, kicking your heel up towards the ceiling. Open your left knee out towards the side. Bring it into center. So doing those circles, reversing from here. Open out, kick that heel back and up. Knee comes in. Let's keep it going. Reverse. We're gonna do 3 aside. Open your knee out. So trying to keep a flat back, bringing knee into the midline. Reversing that movement. Kick your heel up to the ceiling. Trying to keep a flat back. Knee comes into center. Once more, kick it back. Open out to the left side. Knee comes in towards the midline. Reversing that movement, knee comes out as far as you can. Kick your heel up to the ceiling. Knee comes in towards the center. I'll reverse the other side so everyone can see. So again, you want a flat back. We're keeping tension on our core here. Think about you have a ball behind your knee. So kicking that heel back. Open that right knee out towards the right side. Bring your knee slowly in towards the midline. Open it out, so working on that right hip, kick your heel up and back. Knee comes into center. Let's reverse it. Opening it out, into center. Reversing that movement, knee comes in towards the midline. Once more here, kick your heel up. Open out towards the right side. Knee comes in, reversing that movement. Kick it up and back, in towards the midline. Let's sit those heels back towards our child's pose. Your choice, forehead can come down to your mat or not. Reach those arms out in front. You can open the knees up a little bit wider if that feels good. So releasing that pelvis down, hips towards your heels. Let's take 3 deep breaths towards your hips for 3, for 2, and 1. Slowly coming up. We're coming into our 90-90 stretch next. So left foot and left shin is in a 90 degrees in front, and your right knee is a 90 degrees behind you. So this might be enough for you right here. We're gonna think about pressing that knee, ankle, and hip all the way down into your mat. We'll bring both hands over your front knee and think about flexing over that left hip. So hinging over your left hip, slowly coming down with a flat back, pressing ankle, knee, and hip down. Breathe into that left side, hinging over it, coming down, breathing for 5, coming down as low as you can for 4. Keep pressing those knees, ankles, and shins down for 3, 2, and 1. Let's slowly take your time coming out of that. We'll switch sides. So right shin comes in front, 90 degrees. Left knee is back. So again, let's set up 90-90. Hands can come over, so one hand over that right shin on either side. And again, we're pressing that hip. Both hips are pressing down, so it's not a passive stretch, a little bit more active. Hinging over that right hip, and take your time slowly coming down wherever you can today. Maybe the right's a little bit tighter than the left. We're breathing into it here for 5, coming down with a flat back for 4, 3, for last 2, and 1. Slowly take your time coming up. We'll switch that. We'll do once more each side to make sure everyone's got it. So left knee in front, right knee back. Sit up nice and tall to start, setting up those knees. Hands can come over either side of the left knee if that feels good, or you can bring both for a little bit more of an upper body twist towards the left side. We're hinging over that left hip. Keep pressing those knees, ankles, and hips down into the mat. and slowly dropping that chest down. So wherever you bring your hands, it's going to be a little bit of a different stretch. For last 3, for 2, and 1. Slowly take your time coming up. We'll switch sides, coming into that right side. Right shin in front, left knee is back. Maybe walk your hands a little bit over towards the right, a little bit more, so we're doing a little bit of a twist at the same time. And again, hinging over that right hip, dropping that chest down wherever you can today, breathing into the right hip, coming down for last 4, for 3, for last 2, and 1. Slowly take your time, pressing yourself up. We're gonna bring both hands to the top of your mat, press yourself back into a downward dog here. Let's walk it out, reach those hips up. So hands are shoulder width apart. For those new to yoga, feet hip width apart. You can bend into your knees a little bit here. So we're gonna try that one next. So knees come close to the ground into a bear position, and reaching those hips up to the ceiling. Let's go for 8 here. Knees come low. Exhale to press it up for 2. For 3, keep looking towards your feet. 4, release those shoulders away from the ears. For 5, you've got 3 more here. 6, last 2. For 7, keep it going, guys. And 8, walk those feet out, bend into the knees. We're coming into our pigeon next. Inhaling right leg high in the air. We're gonna bend into that right knee, circle a little bit here on that right side into your hip. Maybe circling the other way. And when you're ready, bringing that right knee in towards your right wrist. Your right shin is as close to parallel as you can. Doesn't matter if you can't get it parallel. So think about squaring off your hips to start. Left leg reaches back towards the back of your mat. You're looking forward, and when you're ready, we're gonna slowly walk the hands down wherever you can. It feels nice too. If your hips are really tight like mine, you can bring a block under that right hip to give you a little bit of support, so you're not just collapsing into that right side. Breathing into it here. Just set up the block. So nice deep breaths into that right. And we're pressing that left hip down at the same time. Breathing here for 5. You can stack your fists for your forehead for 4. 3. For 2. Going deeper into that right side, and 1. Let's release the block away from that right hip. Pressing both hands down into your mat. Stepping that right foot back. Walking out your downward dog here. Walk it out a little bit. Notice how that right side feels. Bend into the knees. Let's try that on the left side this time. Left leg reaches high in the air. Bending into your left knee. Option to circle a couple times into that left hip. So we're getting ready to go a little bit deeper into our pigeon. When you're ready, bringing that left knee to left wrist. That left shin's parallel across the front of your mat here. Right leg reaches back. So let's set up the hips first. Your choice, you can bring a block just underneath that left hip, and slowly walking your hands down wherever you can. Maybe you just start here. This might be enough for you today, depending on your flexibility. For me, I want to walk them down a little bit more to feel a little bit of a deeper stretch in that left side. Again, I like to stack 2 fists, or even you can use the block if you have a block handy. Forehead can come to the block. So we want to think about the neck, protecting your neck here. We're breathing deep into that left side for 5. For 4, for last 3, nice deep breaths here, filling up that belly, in through your nose, out through the nose. For 2, and 1. Slowly release that left side, pressing both of our hands into our mat. We'll remove a block if you've got it there. Hands pressed down. Let's step it back to our downward dog. Walk it out here. Shake it off a little bit. Do whatever feels good for you. We're coming into a low lunge next. So right leg reaches high in the air. Right foot steps through your hands and left knee comes down on the mat. So maybe you need a little bit of padding if that left knee is a little bit sensitive like mine. Okay, so we can start right here. You can use blocks if you have them to press both hands down into your blocks, or maybe just bringing both hands to that front thigh. Left knee stays on the ground. We're opening up that hip flexor. So into that little, there's a psoas muscle, that little one gets super tight as we're continuing to sit more these days. Maybe you're a little bit more active and you're not giving your hips enough attention. So let's breathe into this side here for 5. Trying to release the shoulders. Maybe you look up a little bit for 4. Hands can be on the hips for 3. Pull those shoulders back for 2. And 1. We're bringing our left hand down to the mat, so a little bit of a chest opener here. Reach that right arm up. Try looking up and pulling. Think about pulling those hips back a little bit at the same time. Keep looking up to that top hand for 3, for 2, and 1. Bring your right hand to the outside of that right foot. Coming into our half split next. So sitting those hips back. Bring your right toes up and try to bring them towards your forehead. So we're trying to keep left hip in line with that left knee. And do your best, try to straighten out that right leg. So the hamstrings might be super tight today. Go wherever you can, and either bring your fingertips down into the mat, maybe bring both hands to your front shin if that feels good. Slowly try pointing those toes towards the forehead. Breathing into that right hamstring here for 4, for last 3, for 2, and 1. Right foot plants down into your mat, so a little bit more of a challenging stretch here. Both hands come in towards the right foot, so on the inside. This is your lizard next. Okay, and this might be enough of a deep stretch for you right here on that left side. Or an option to come on the toes on your back foot, bring your left knee off the ground, and we're circling into your right hip. Again, this is where a block comes in really handy. You can bring forearms down. So if you're like me, maybe your hips are fairly tight, and I'm not able to bring forearms all the way down to the mat, which is okay. Wherever you can today is great. Maybe you just stay on your hands here. And let's try circling into that right hip. So we're going a little bit deeper onto that right side. Breathing into that right hip here. Circle a couple times each way if that feels good for you. Letting that right knee fall out to the side. Breathing here for 3. Keep pressing those hands into your mat for 2. And 1. Slowly walk that right foot back. Let's walk it out here. Shake it off a little bit here. Breathe into that side. Do whatever feels good. We're going to try that on the other side. So starting off with that low lunge. Left leg reaches high in the air. Stepping your left foot through. Right knee plants onto the mat. So your choice, you can bring hands to that front thigh. Breathing into that right hip this time. Notice how the right hip feels compared towards the left. It's a little bit toasty here in Toronto today. I'm sweating a little bit. Breathing into that right side. Option to reach those arms up overhead. So open up the shoulders a little bit for 3, for 2, and 1. We're planting right hand down into your mat. Reach that left arm up to the sky. Try looking up to that top hand. Maybe you let that knee fall out to the left side a little bit, so going a little bit more into that left hip. Breathe here for 3. Keep looking up, opening up the chest for 2. and 1. Bring left hand to the outside of your left foot and slowly bring those left toes up towards your forehead. Take your time here. We're bringing that right hip back towards the right knee, straightening out that left leg the best you can. My left side's a little bit tighter than the right. They're never usually equal. So just notice how the body's feeling today, bringing those toes towards your forehead, feeling that left hamstring here, and trying to bring those toes up wherever you can, straightening out that left side, breathing into it here for 3, for 2, and 1. Slowly plant that left foot down, coming into our lizard neck. So both hands on the inside of that left foot. Again, this might be enough for you right here. If you want to go a little bit deeper, bring that right knee off the ground. And your choice, you can circle into it. You can also try coming down onto the forearm. So I'm able to, on the left side, clearly my right side is tighter. Maybe you circle in towards that left hip, breathing into it. And going again at your own pace, whatever feels good for you today. The hardest part is always showing up on your mat. Breathing here for 3, for last 2, and 1. Plant both hands. We're gonna slowly step that left leg back, evening out that other side now. Walk it out here. Catch your breath. Take water as you need it. Nice deep rest for 3, for 2, and 1. We'll bring both knees down. So wide leg child's pose this time. Sit those hips back, and we're gonna reach arms back towards your heels. Try bringing your forehead down towards the floor. You can pull a little bit on those heels, pulling those shoulders away from the ears. Nice deep breaths for 3, for 2, and 1. Slowly bring that head up, chest up, rolling over onto your right seat bone. We're gonna come down onto our back. I've got a little bit of sweat in my eye. Coming down onto your back, and if you have a block, I encourage you to use it. We're gonna bring both knees in towards the chest. You can put that block in between. We're letting our knees fall over towards the left side. Head can look over towards your right, so this is a sleeping spinal twist. So sometimes it feels good to bring that left hand on top of the right knee for a little bit more of a twist. And we're thinking about keeping our shoulders down on the mat here. So your choice, head can look straight up or over towards the right hand. If you have enough space, reach your arms out into a T. I'm a little bit limited here. So I have cactus arms and I'm looking over towards the right. Wringing out the spine here for 3, for 2, and 1. Slowly bring both knees back to center. Let the knees fall towards your right side. Maybe shift your hips over a little bit towards the left. You can use that right hand on top of your left knee. And try looking over towards the left hand if it's available. Thinking about pressing those shoulders down on your mat here, wringing out the spine on the other side for 3. Breathing deep into that low back for 2. And 1. Bring both knees back to center. We'll remove the block. Let's hug both knees into the chest here. Give yourself a big hug, a big squeeze. Rock it out side to side. We're gonna come into a half happy baby. So release left leg down. And we're gonna hold on to the inside edge of that right foot. So maybe it's too much with the left leg straight. You can bend into your left knee. So maybe the left foot's into the floor. I'm gonna go a little bit deeper and we're holding onto the inside edge of that right foot. And we're pulling that right side in towards the right shoulder here. So it's important to keep your chin tucked or spines long. Maybe press that left hand down into the left thigh. Kicking that heel up towards the ceiling here. Let's take 3 deep breaths. For 3, for 2, And 1. Slowly release right hand. We're gonna bring right foot to the left thigh before we go into the other side. Threading the needle. Start by hugging left knee in towards the chest. Then when you're at your furthest point, then we'll reach the right arm through that hole. Interlace your fingers on the front side of the left knee. Hug the left knee in towards the body here. Take 3 deep breaths for 3. Last 2. So hugging that knee in towards the chest. You can use that right elbow onto the right knee. And 1. Slowly release that side. We'll release everything down. We'll reach those arms up overhead. Big stretch here, and we'll hug left knee in towards the chest this time. So half happy baby on the other side. Holding on either, so my hand automatically went to the outside edge. So either the outside edge or the inside edge of your foot is a little bit more challenging. And then your choice with that right knee, you can either bend it, right foot into the mat if you're not as flexible, or keep the right leg long and pressing that heel up towards the ceiling here. Chin's tucked, breathing in and going deeper into that left side for 3. Releasing that knee towards the shoulder for 2. And 1. Release your left hand. Left foot can come to your right thigh. Start by threading that needle, so bringing your right knee in towards the chest as much as you can. Then reach your left arm through that hole you made. Hug both knees in, give yourself a big squeeze here, or option to bring your hands behind that right thigh if it's not available in front. Enjoy this threading the needle for 3, for 2, and 1. Release everything down, reach everything out. And we'll come into 1 last happy baby together. So hugging both knees in towards the chest, reaching those arms through your legs here and holding on to the outside edges of your feet. So this is a great way to massage the whole spine here, opening up the pelvis. Your choice to how much pressure you want to give yourself. So pulling the outside edges of the feet downwards, knees towards the shoulders here. Nice deep breaths into it for 3, for 2, and 1. We'll cross both legs over, so legs right over. We're gonna hold on to the opposite ankles and hug those knees in towards the chest. Feels good into those glutes. Let's think about pulling those ankles down towards your mat here, down towards the floor. Again, think about having a long spine, your chin stays tucked. Breathing into it, give yourself as much as you can handle, or as little, for 3, for 2, and 1. Release those legs, we'll try the other side. Right over left. Use left hand on the right ankle, and right hand on that left ankle. So your choice, as much as you want to give yourself today. Hug those knees in towards the chest. You'll feel that right glute. Think about pulling those ankles down, shoulders down, away from the ears here. Nice deep breaths for 3, for 2, and 1. Release those legs all the way down. Catch your breath here. Take a moment. We'll bring both knees back into the chest. Give yourself a big hug. Rock it out side to side. And we're going to do Spinal Rock Up. So again, this is a great way to massage that back. We'll go down and up a couple times here. Reach those feet back. Good way to massage your shoulders. Reach them all the way back for last 3. For 2. Keep it going. Keep that chest up. And 1, come all the way up here. We'll reach those feet out. We're all nearly there. So left foot comes into that inner right thigh. We're gonna come to a forward fold. Inhale, reach both arms up overhead. Exhale to fold and reach for those right toes. So folding over your right leg here. Maybe you can't reach for the toes, that's okay. Maybe reach for your ankle or shin. To go a little bit deeper into that lower back here, we're gonna bring left hand to the base of the head and think about lifting up through the chest. You're looking up towards that left elbow, opening up that left lower side of the body, and we're releasing that left knee down, so opening up those hips at the same time. Nice deep breaths here for 3, feels really good. Lengthening for 2, try looking up to the ceiling. And 1, slowly release that right side. We'll finish off with our left, and I'm gonna face the other way. So left foot reaches out, left leg, right foot to that inner thigh. Inhale, reach both arms up overhead. Fold over your left side. Reach for your toe, ankle, or shin. Right hand can come to the base of your head here. Think about releasing that right leg down. Hand to the base and try looking up towards the ceiling. Go wherever you can today is great. We're breathing into that lower back. That's that QL muscle, a big muscle that goes right across your lower back there. Breathing into it here for 3, for 2, keep reaching and looking up. And 1, slowly release that left side. Shake it off a little bit here. That's all we have for today. Thank you everyone for joining me. I'll be back next week for another stretch and a HIIT class. Take care.